Welcome, everybody, to the Rap Cave Podcast, episode 95. The boys are in the building. It's been a while. I got B. Mike Birdie over here. I got making a return since episode, 42? Episode 42. I'm just rolling with that. That's the last number he's been on. Money Murr back in the building with the Rap Cave shirt. Appreciate you coming through. Zay right here to my left, and primetime Jay Leno right here. And shout out to Nick, the tailgate winner, and Big AP on the ones and twos.
Yes, sir.
I am, of course, Chris Platte, aka Platte Pods. Look, we don't need a whole show sheet today because it's very simple. J. Cole dropped. Jermaine Cole dropped the Fall Off, the album that has been a decade in the making, that he has teased, that he has delayed, that he has done everything to promote. It is now here. Shout out to J. Cole, by the way, for getting the pre-ordered vinyl here on time so I could have it. That was really dope. Perfect timing there. I'll just toss it to my esteemed panel here, gentlemen. First off, how did you feel about it when you gave it that first spin?
Hey man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna kick this off right here. J. Cole, Jermaine Cole. From now on, that's how you rap. You rap like that every time, my boy. That shit was gas, lethal, bro. This shit was amazing. I'm telling you, from start to finish, bro. I love the album. I have no words, bro. Dude, bro, 10 years in the making, bro. You can tell he really put his all into it. It's an amazing album, bro. I have to give it his flowers.
I hate to tell you this, breaking news, but he is retiring.
Hey, bro.
It's a little too late to find your stride.
Unfortunately.
It's a little too late to find your stride.
That's how he was supposed to rap. Damn.
Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
When that kingdom coming. Yeah. Imagine if your flu game was your last game.
Jesus.
Nah, this was a masterclass. Before I get my takes off again, I did a whole video last night. Shout out to AP. We sat there. We listened to it.
I was screaming at him from the other room while I was still working. So
I am so glad I filmed that. I'm gonna just say that before everybody else continues. As somebody that just really has a lot of respect for Cole's music, I am very happy that I get to. That shit will never see the light of day because I'll get demonetized. I can't obviously play that shit, but to have that for me, I will genuinely rewatch my reaction to that album for the first time because that was a really cool journey to be able to have a special moment like that. So I enjoyed that. There will be some clips and some snippets that I got coming this weekend, but that was a really, really dope experience. Birdie, how did you feel about the album?
I thought the album was phenomenal, front to back, for real. I don't think I really skipped any tracks. I will say it was a little bit too singy for me. It was like singing a little bit more than my liking from J. Cole. But I'm still standing on the birthday blizzard had the hardest he rapped for sure.
Yeah, I know. I remember you said that in the chat. It was a joke the other day, but now you're like, no, that's shit.
And I feel like it's cause like with those type of beats that you rap on, you gotta
approach it so different.
You gotta give it your all. You know
especially
what I'm saying?
when they're so legendary.
And it's different type of vibes on the album, but I would say that the Fall Off definitely would go down as a masterpiece for J. Cole. And I don't see why this wouldn't end up being a classic, but we'll see how time will tell. You know how motherfuckers be, dog.
Okay. Jay Leno, how you feeling about it?
So. First listen, I was like, this is like perfect. Second one, I was like, it's cool. Third one, I'm like, it's just enough. Like, I don't.
Interesting.
Huh.
Like, it's good.
That doesn't happen that often of like, the more you listen, the more.
Because I think, so when I first played it, like, I'm like, probably the same time most of us did. I'm like.
When you were occupied.
I was at the party, stuff like that. Then I like left and I'm like, this is like crazy. Like, it's, every song is great. I love hidden features on albums. I love, finding out who's on which song.
Future. You find out there ain't that many features.
Yeah, Future popped out a couple songs.
Shout out Pluto.
PD Pablo and whatnot, but like for me, it was like cool. I wanted more features. Like personally, I wasn't gonna get that probably, but it was just it was cool. Like it wasn't like insane to me, but like it's just like Cole. Like I wasn't like too like shocked at like how it was.
So-
I think it's a great way to go out though. I don't want him to drop nothing else though.
Yeah, I think knowing you, I think what it is, and this is something that I'll get to when I get to my opinion, is that there is no radio record, right? Like we compare it to like 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and like people are having that conversation of how it is in Cole's catalog. That has no role models, Tale of Two Cities, like all of that. Is that what it is for you? Is that it just
And
don't have that?
That's actually I just said that to my friend in the crowd. I'm like, it's a great album, but like to me, I'm not gonna be like I'm about to go play this shit back like in the car. Like if I'm just
Yeah.
like by myself, like I'll play that shit like in the house, whatever. But like, I don't think it has, like I said last episode, I don't think it has like a hit that's gonna like pop off, and that's cool because like I think Cole can do that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of artists can't do that shit, but I don't think Cole. I don't think he tried to make.
I think he made the album he wanted to. There's no song that he tried to like make it, because if you can make like no role models and shit, and look, he's not the most like commercial artist, but at the same time he's had hits on every single album.
Yeah.
So like to me, it's very clear like when he tries to, like even songs I'm not a fan of, but like off KOD, like Motivate, like you could tell he's going for the hit.
I feel like
he didn't have any of that
He
on
don't
this.
do that every album though. Like even though like For Your Eyes had like Neighbors on it, like I feel like that was more like forced than it actually was a radio.
Well,
Even
Deja Vu was a
a
radio
lot of
record
the-
off For Your Eyes.
Was it?
The ones
That was the Bryson Tiller one. That was
the ones
put
that
the fingers.
do pop
yeah.
off the
Oh yeah.
off of Cole's albums are. It's still not even the songs that do pop usually aren't like what you would expect to be.
Yeah.
Really commercially successful. I mean, he's had like London was a huge song, like and he was on that, but that was a feature in somebody else's song though.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Well, I don't know. Do you want to go next, Money Mer?
Go ahead.
I'm going to agree with Birdie. I think it was a very exceptional album. I think it will go down in history as definitely one of his best albums. Everyone knows how I feel about 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I think it was good, but it wasn't anything to rave over like people were, when it came out. I think it was a
Still
good
are.
album, which I mean, people think I'm still wrong, which it's fine. But I don't hate Forest Hills Drive. I just think for sure this album is definitely better. There's not as many, I guess, hot songs or bangers as like radio hits, but as far as like the album flows, I like how he had many styles on here, how he kind of stepped out of the box compared to his other albums. I like the album personally. I think it was phenomenal. I really do like it. Enjoyed it.
I think to have 24 records and not a lot of features, we talked about Pluto a couple times, PD Pablo, Thames, shout out Thames. There was a lot. There was a lot of rapping on it that was just J. Cole, and he did a great job, I think, because he didn't have a single song that he flowed like the last. Every single song had a different flow.
It was still engaging.
He really showcased his versatility on this project, which I thought, again, I came into this wanting features because that same style can get repetitive, can get dull. It can kind of fall flat on your ears, but you need that kind of spice. But J. Cole brought that spice himself, and so while I came into it wanting features, I'm very much okay with it, especially because now I know he wasn't trying to have this one be the hit record, this one be that. It was just every single song was rapping about the content that he wanted to rap about in the style and the way he wanted to rap. So I think that Cole did exactly what he needed to do. I think this was a perfect album for J. Cole, for who he is, for this moment. And I'm with Birdie too. I think it's a classic because I look at it like this. My argument for it to be a classic would be this, is that you look at hip hop and the history of hip hop, how many albums can you say from a technical rap standard match this performance? And I would say Supreme Clientele. I would bring up Mad Villainy in that conversation. I would bring up My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. People sleep on how elite the rapping was on that one. But those are some of the most elite MC performances we've ever seen. This album is certainly from that standard in that conversation. So if I get that that's a niche of hip hop, and we'll get to comparing it to some of the other, send off albums and all of that. But it checks that box to where it is so elite there that I think it kind of has to be a classic because I think if you're trying to tell somebody this, if you're trying to sit them down and be like, do you want to just hear like the best rapping you've ever heard in your life? And they say yes, you're going to play them one of the albums I named. Like again, before today, Supreme Clientele was the album that I would sit down if somebody just said, I want to hear like elite rapping. Because you have great rappers that have great verses that also have hits. And again, it'll be interesting to see how I feel about this album as it ages, because I do agree 100% with what Jalen said, is that I've enjoyed it so far. There hasn't been not to use a pun here, but there hasn't been a fall off for me in terms of my enjoyment of this album. But it ultimately, I do identify the fact that there is no hit on this. There is just a bunch of good rap records that I really enjoy. And so I'm curious to see, how do I feel about it in November? How do I feel about it in 2029? I'm very curious to see how it will age for me, because you're right, man. Like it don't have those hits that you return to. And, you know, for now, I don't think there is a hit that's gonna develop from this. Like I've listened to this album 3 times.
You don't think 2-6 would be a hit?
No.
No.
Well, let me transition to my take then, because the only song that I think, which has been the one I've replayed the most, that could be a hit that I think has the most commercial potential is "Old Dog." Personally, that's like, I think one of the most digestible, but also like energetic songs on there.
Right.
If the fucking, I mean, if that intro, if the 39 intro was cut in half and that second part of it was its own song, I could see that doing very well. But the thing is, though, is like, when it comes to how you feel about it or returning, does a hit record make a difference of the album itself? Yeah. You know, I don't think it does. I don't think that when it comes to albums, I don't think so either. I don't really give a fuck about if it has a hit record on it. He could drop a single hit record. I mean, not anymore.
It ain't got to be a hit record, but it does have to have something notable on it. Like Mad Villainy,
stands out.
It don't have no hit records on it, but there's some tracks on there like, I don't know if One Beer is on there or
that's on
Food, right?
Food, yeah.
Or All Caps.
All Caps is on there. Yeah. Well, on that, like Accordion and Meat Grinder were like the big ones. But the thing is, though, is like, what does stand out to you? Because to me, like, it has standout records to me, not like what would be commercially successful, but like, I think Legacy stands out very heavily to me. I think that The Let Out stands out. I think Old Dog stands out. I think so, like, but that's what stands out for me. So when it comes to having an actual commercial hit, this is an album that, and this is what my approach to, like, especially when you get an album this long, is like, this is an album that I think that's the point. It's meant to be itself as a full body of work, and not playlisted and picked apart and like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I'm not saying that makes or breaks anything. Exactly that, though. It doesn't make or break it, because you're gonna in 6 months you're gonna be like, oh, because none of the songs charted as high as I thought they would. Now I don't like it anymore.
It's not about that. It's about listenability, replayability, right? Where it's like for me, you know, like what carries an album is that I can come back to these like hits for a couple times. And obviously there's songs I like that aren't hits that I can replay. So that's why I'm interested to see how the replay value works for me. But that is what carries an album. That's what you know, a lot of albums we've heard and we've reviewed on this panel several times, and we said first week it dropped, we really liked the album, but did we really stay listening to it? Did it really stay in our rotation? No, because it didn't have those songs that like lasted, that had that staying power to kind of like, okay, yeah, you're not listening to the whole album anymore. You're not sitting there running the body of work top to bottom, but you're picking out these records. And again, that's all subjective. Everybody has their own kind of,
method to do it.
Taste.
Because I was going to say, it's like,
but that's the importance of hits.
No Role Models is arguably one of my favorite fucking hip hop songs. But like, I don't really like playlist it, but I listen to 2014 Forest Hills Drive front to back a lot. So like, you know, or have done that many, many times. So like, but aside from that, point being, just to give my thing on it, is like, Yeah, I think it was an absolute fucking masterclass. On
We had a blast.
on what with like I told Platte is like I haven't been this like I haven't enjoyed an album release as much as this in a long time. Like just it was engaging. The production value was fucking absolutely top tier. I mean,
Shout out J. Cole, man.
yeah, the beat selection, T-Minus executive producing it and everything, and really, and wait, look, I was like looking at the credits last night when we were talking and stuff, and really, like, there were not that many hands in this pot. It's like it is really it's mainly the child of J. Cole and T-Minus, like
The way he snuck those samples in.
yeah, that's what even and not that matters in the long run, but it makes it more impressive to me of how like just grand this album sounds, you know. And I do think it holds a candle to 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which has been I have never even swindled from the fact that that's the best J. Cole album since it came out. And so like this now makes me question it. And I think if that's the barrier of entry, that's really fucking good. You know what I mean? So because we've never among any artists, even let's just say the big three, have you ever heard an album come out since whatever their best one is to you and say, I don't know, this might be it? It doesn't really work that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Especially with the big three, I haven't had that.
You know, so
ever.
It's like this is the first time that I've seen that happen. I mean, unless you have an example of it, but like, since like, you know, I mean, Drake to me, Nothing Was the Same as my favorite album. He's had a lot of other really good albums, but I haven't definitively said this could be better than Nothing Was the Same.
I was gonna say like Take Care Is Mine, and
Right.
It was the same was like everyone else.
Okay.
Was like,
yeah. So right. And now that's a little. That is closer. In
That's
context.
a good debate.
Yeah, that's closer in context though, because I guess I should have worded it better. I mean more like, you know, years down the line from it of like I'm not expecting at this point anymore. Like I don't think that I'm gonna get a Kendrick album that I'm gonna say, oh, this is better than whatever or than Good Kid or.
I agree. You know. I would say though, to your point, one question I'd ask is, since we kind of scoped it to the big three, is I think it's pretty clear that J. Cole has the weakest discography of them. Like, I'm not trying to downplay how impressive it is that this album is equal to maybe his greatest. And I want to say that to J. Cole. And I'm talking directly to J. Cole. And J. Cole, when he sees this, he's going to understand exactly what I'm saying. Congratulations, J. Cole. You have 2 championships. I think this is a classic. I really do. He talked about 2014 Forest Hills Drive being like, man, when you have that undeniable classic, you won a championship. And he's like, it's the most elating feeling that you have ever had in your life. And I think that he is going to feel that way about the fall off the same way he feels about 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Again, I just think this is the album he wanted to make. This is his way, done exactly how he wanted it on his terms. I thought that was great. To me, it's like, if I'm making a kind of funny comparison, but I mean this in a good way, like I always credit Game. One of the reasons I like Game is because he's such an adaptable artist, right? Like he will very much steal or just be influenced by somebody else, rap like that very well at a high level, and it works. Cole did that even better. Like again, the versatility in his rapping. I'm glad you brought up the production too, because that's a whole side note. The production was just fantastic. I think the production on its own is just a masterclass. But the writing and the rapping, the way he was able to interwork those samples, the way he was able to do those styles where sometimes he sounded like Eminem, sometimes he sounded like J. Cole, sometimes he sounded like somebody totally different, sometimes this sounded like a 2006 rap record, sometimes this sounded like today. It was nuts, the versatility that he had on this project from a rapping performance. So that's why to me it's a classic. But back to your point of that conversation, because I think that's a good question. I want everybody's answer is like, I think that, not trying to take away from it, but I do think that Cole does have the weakest discography. So if I were a betting man and I had to bet on who would be the artist in the 2020s to drop the album that rivals their best, I would say J. Cole for one of two reasons. One, because we've known since last decade that the fall off was happening. So he had all this time. Mm-hmm. So if you tell me you have all this time plus 2014 Forest Hills Drive, again, I don't think that is better than either of Drake or Kendrick's best albums. So I feel like if I had to bet money on it, who would have done that? I think it would have been Cole.
Yeah, I mean, the way I always look at it, I feel is like, of like them, it's for me, it always has been Good Kid, Mad City, 2014, and Nothing Was the Same, which just so happened to all come out within like a year of each other, but that is unrelated. But it's the fact that, you know, I Good Kid is ultimately my favorite album of all time, but I kind of put them on the same tier as it go. Like that, I consider them all at like masterpiece albums. I don't really have like one that's better than the other, but I could agree that like I think that both Kendrick and Drake have had higher highs probably throughout their careers.
Yeah, does anybody disagree with that?
No, I think with this one it's gonna be hard for Cole to. If you a rap fan, you gonna play this shit like all the time. But like for me at least, and I'm not like trying to downplay it, I'm not gonna play this album probably in like 3 months.
Yeah. I think
I'm probably not.
I mean, I'll probably still be banging it or whatever. I just don't think it's gonna match up with the classics that they have, just because like it's so many songs that like Kendrick and Drake have that's on Good Kid, Mad City, Take Care, to where like when you play that song, it's just like we all look at each other and we connect like, oh yeah, this is one of those. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't really see that too much on this album, but there's plenty of albums that I felt was classics that, you know what I'm saying,
others
that just
had
great fucking songs. You know what I'm saying? Just great songs, period.
And, you know, the criteria of a classic is very ambiguous of like what a classic really means or what it is. But the fact that we're having the conversation about this being a classic, we have not done that with any of the 2020s Drake or Kendrick yet. The fact that it's even a conversation.
Well, we did with GNX.
Holds some weight. To have an arguable classic 14 years after, or whatever, 12 years after what people would say is the classic album, you know? Yeah. I mean, is there...
No, we did have the GNX conversation, and I do think that ultimately, and I am curious to see if I will. Right now, I'd say I'd like this album a lot more than GNX, and I really like GNX. But I'm curious to see. It's already out in the clip. Yes, it's already out in the clip. I already got that today.
I mean, but I remember that conversation. Yeah, I like GNX.
I think what helps make GNX a classic. Not to side tangent too much. I promise. I'm just saying this, and then we'll get back to Cole. But what makes GNX a classic to me is the moment. Like again, I think the music is quality enough to have that convo, but even if you disagree with that, it was the moment of it, what it spawned, what it was, what it came from, everything.
I think it was like a victory lap.
Yeah, it was that moment that everybody in the world had their eyes on this album when it was coming. They didn't know when it was coming. It came. It led to, obviously, again, the Super Bowl, the World Tour, all the commercial success. So it checked that box, but then also just from rap fans, it was that like defining moment for Kendrick. Like it was Kendrick's biggest moment. It's not his best album, but it was his biggest moment. So I think that's like the kind of the stuff surrounding it kind of made it a classic. Whereas like this album, if I'm looking at it objectively, I do think I do like it more than GNX right now. But I'm very curious because GNX is very hit heavy, right?
Well,
like GNX has Luther. I don't know if I like a single song on this more than I like Luther, but we'll see.
I got a question.
That's exactly what I was going to say, but my bad.
Oh,
I was going to say GNX had a lot of bangers. Like it had,
TV
like
off
hits,
and
like TV off, Squabble Up, Luther, like, and this album doesn't have those type of hits, but I feel like with this album, it's just an enjoyable listen from start to finish. Yeah.
And you're always going to have me when you have like hip hop samples and you write from the perspective of Tupac and Biggie and you like the hip hop like super fan in me.
It's a love letter to him.
Yeah.
It really is.
Especially that diss too. So like I really enjoyed that. Like I remember I remember when Chris and I heard that, the way he flipped those out, that Outkast sample and that DMX sample, where he just slid that in, because we were just listening and I didn't see that coming at all. That shit, the way he set that up was so perfect, man. That was really enjoyable to me on that sense.
I was gonna say, which that song that he's sampling DMX.
Yeah.
Me and Chris Adams were talking about it. I thought of "You With Me" by Drake.
Yeah, I said,
Yeah.
and
Before I thought of the
I said that
DMX
last
sample.
night. I was like, and who else has famously sampled this song? You
Yeah,
know?
that's true. That's a great Drake song too, by the way.
Yeah,
that's a fucking
that's a
phenomenal.
top tier.
You with
Drake
me?
song. That's one of my favorites.
All right. That was both a question and a statement.
But no, yeah, it was great, and the fact I really love, which I've been happy to be able to drop this on people, is the Villas. He kind of reflips the beat of The Realist by Mobb Deep and Cool G Rap, and that was the first beat that got Alchemist off the ground. So Alchemist is a co-producer on that. So talk about like a full circle moment, and that also is really fucking cool. I think to see that somebody's like paying homage to that, because that's what got Alchemist out there and famous, was that beat specifically. So I think that was really cool. And Future was sampling your boy, man, Robert.
Future and Thames, man, that's a deadly duo every time.
Yes.
That's your boy.
Hey.
It was your man's.
Hey. When that was like the highlight for me of the whole tape.
Good.
Because it was Future.
I
and
had
it was
all the
R.
money.
Kelly sample.
I had all the money in the world
That
on
song
that.
was made for you.
Like, but like, I mean, I was just happy that it was a feature. Like, did y'all think it was gonna be that many features on the album? Like,
I
But that's like me saying, hey, Birdie, what do you think my favorite song is off I Am Music? Like, you know what I mean?
As far as the features go, I do wish there were more, but that also, I mean, it could have opened up opportunity for people to not
Future's
perform
damn near
that
the
well.
executive producer of this album.
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
That was so
I love
crazy.
that Future's like sprinkled throughout it a couple of times. But
Especially
why
'cause
now?
him
Why now do J. Cole and Future start working together?
Especially because him and Cole don't work together like that.
they had Red Leather on the
Right.
Yeah.
They,
But like,
But I think that was old. I think that song was actually.
Oh, yeah.
old.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
like,
it was.
That's one instance where it's like Future's damn near in the booth with him in this for this album. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's
I would like more
it's-
collabs from them. I wish we had them.
Honestly, but hey, that goes to prove Future's legacy is like, if I'm making an album dedicated to hip hop, who do I need all over this bitch? Future.
100%, man.
I got a question for y'all, bro.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
So, obviously this album don't have the hits that it needs to. I mean, don't have the songs to get an actual hit. What do you think Cole needed to do to actually have a hit on this song?
I think he needed to try to have a hit. I don't think
I don't think that was his intention.
Yeah, I just don't think that was his intention. I think that he was very much in the vibe of, I'm trying to make my love letter to hip hop, tell my story, go out the way I want to go out. Because he always talked about it. Like, I remember listening to that podcast series, Inevitable, which I hope continues, because I would love to. That led up to Forest Hills Drive. I would love to hear the next, 10 years after that. Mm-hmm. But when he did that, he talked about how when he had to play the game to, like, for Born Sinner, he had to play the game for Sideline Story, all of those projects when he was coming up, and how he didn't like that because he felt like he didn't win on his terms, and this is him winning on his terms, because at this point, everybody that loves Cole. Look, I don't think this album convinced anybody that doesn't like Cole to like Cole, but I think that everybody that likes Cole likes this album, and to the point where I haven't seen anybody with like a face that has discredited this album. Yeah. Like I've seen the anonymous Twitter users and the fan accounts, trash it, but real people that I talk to, that I know, that I respect, not a single person has said a bad word about this album. I think that's because everybody that was coming to this album knows who J. Cole is, and he did such a great job serving that.
Yeah,
And
he
I
definitely put this out for the people who, who he knew was going to appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just for everybody, for somebody to be put on the Cole. It was like,
Right.
the real Cole fans going to love this one, and surely we all did.
Yeah, I think I want to ask that part too. So going into it, we talked about how we all kind of thought about. Yeah, let me ask this question first because I got two questions. One of the things we talked about was obviously 2024, and he was open with it. He talked about it in the Blizzard Pack. He talked about it in Port Antonio. He talked about it in the letter that he wrote to fans about how 2024 was such a chapter marker, the apology, the battle, all of that. How did you guys feel about the fact that he really didn't address it at all? Like to the point where I've seen people pull up lyrics and every single one of them has been an absolute reach.
Yeah, they're trying.
Not a single one has been like, "Oh, I can see that."
I love that he didn't. That would have put a damper on this album if he did. I am so glad that he did it because he doesn't need to. Because if you break the context down of him saying 2024 specifically changed things, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like now my and I'm responding.
Yeah.
It might have just changed the way his
Thinks.
approach and the way he thinks about it.
Which is what definitely happened.
I'm so glad that he didn't fucking try and dive in and get into that shit. This album is 100% self-reflective, and that's what I really fucking love. It's not grasping at straws of anything like that. It's all him. It's front to back, except if he's dissing some random person from Fayetteville.
Yeah, bro. Every diss did sound like it was like somebody that
Just
like he
a
grew up with.
pedestrian. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
bro. It did sound like somebody he grew up with. This shit sounded so Carolina.
I think this album was the perfect way to end his journey and his career, and just leave it off on a classic like we discussed. Mm-hmm. This is a perfect way to end it, and I really think that he really came through with this album.
Yeah,
genuinely.
Like seeing a victory lap like this is insane. I don't think we've ever seen that definitive of a last. I mean, I guess the Black Album, but we saw him keep going very quickly. So
yeah, he
like,
very much.
He didn't.
He
even
very
take
much
time
unretired.
between his usual fucking cadence of drops. So
I knew the Fall Off was going to be a good last album, but to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be this fire. Like honestly, this is very, very.
So did it live up to everybody's? Remember,
surpassed it.
I put the baseline, and some of you didn't think that was fair, but I said that expectation is it has to be album of the year. Now I know it's February. I know that there's a lot more shit coming. Again, we've gotten 3 Future snippets, 2 Drake snippets in the last week. This is gonna be an active ass year. Everybody's coming outside. It's gonna be fucking nuts.
a lot of shit's already been teased for this.
So I'm not
saying.
I'm not saying that this you have to marry yourself to this decision right now, but what I'm saying is that my standard for this, my floor for this was album of the year because of the time, the preparation that he took for this, and plus the artist that he is and the abilities that he has. And I feel like personally he lived up to that expectation. Like, I think this is an album that is, at the very least, going to be a contender for album of the year, if not my album of the year. I mean, how do you guys feel about it in terms of that? Did it reach that standard?
Didn't reach your expectations. Like, how high was your expectations to begin with? Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We already talking about it as if it's a classic already. I'm saying if it's possible, but. We already talking about if it's classic already. It's like
if that's a conversation,
that's a conversation. Then
it did what it needed to do.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that this is as a Cole fan, this covers all the bases for me. This is exactly what I wanted, what I needed, because that's not my criteria of it doesn't. But right now, it's at the moment it's album of the year unless something else comes up, and I will say it'll be hard to beat.
It'll be tough, very tough.
You know what I mean? So. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it necessarily needs to be album because it depends. There could just be moments, you don't know. You never know what's going to happen at all ever as far as music goes and who's going to drop and where shit's going to come from. So, but right now it's better than A$AP Rocky's album. So
for sure.
Yeah. I think Jay Leno, where you at with that kind of opinion or that mindset of it?
Like I said, it was just I didn't really expect nothing different. Like it was just Cole. Like to me, it's just same old Cole. Just like he didn't give a fuck this time. Excuse my language. It was just like I'm gonna do it my way. We gonna make 24 just rap, just pure rap. No hits, no hooks. Just like Jermaine, like Cole music.
Jermaine,
and it was just
so,
like
so you don't like dislike it, but it's not like it's
I
not
know
like
me.
like blowing you away.
I know me, and I know like I'm not going to like GNX or whatever. Like that has hits on there. Given I don't play it like that anyway, but like I know that song has like hits I'll go back to. Like Luther, I'll play that like if I want to. Like this Cole album in the summertime, I'm probably not gonna play it. But if it comes on, I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, like
turn the shit off. Yeah,
I'll play it. But like album of the year, I think it is for now. I think if his rollout continues, video wise, press wise, like it can go into summertime if you wanted it to.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely doing
even to the fall now.
He's gonna do a huge tour. I'm sure.
Yeah.
When that other guy drops, if that's up to part of, we can talk about that. But as far as until that happens, I think unless somebody like outside of Drake,
which
I don't know who else.
feels like it's coming very.
But
soon.
I don't know who else outside of Drake is gonna give Cole any comp for album of the year. If anybody yet drops this, I just don't.
Yeah, it's a hard
It's
one
gonna
to
be hard.
I could see a really great Future album.
Okay, see, that'll go well to a different crowd though. Like Cole,
I'm talking me. I'm
saying like to us though. Like I think Future, I'm gonna like that album probably better than Cole's play that wise, but
yeah, just personal preference. Yeah,
to like the album of the year group, like the Grammys and the
to the normies.
to those
I don't care
people.
about those.
No, I know.
Well, I
Album of
do,
the
but I
year is, like,
don't.
your album of the year, not
like
the
it's gonna
Grammys
be
album
hard
of
to
the year.
like beat like that. Outside of probably like Drake, I think he's the only one that's gonna give Cole as much as a run because I think he's the most anticipated like person to drop outside of Cole, and Cole just dropped, so this leaves one more person.
Now
For sure.
we had this conversation. Now that we have the album, I wanna quickly revisit it before we get out of here. It's just the idea that, again, I thought from Drake's perspective, we all thought Drake was coming first because we're all just like, yeah, the fall will happen when it happens. I don't believe in it. Like it's
I'm
almost
surprised that
it's
we
like
have it right
Detox,
now,
yeah.
honestly.
But
That was
but
like Dr. Dre's Detox, basically.
now that it's here, now that we've assessed it, we all deem it to be a very high quality. How much pressure does that add to Drake? How does that change anything in the world of Drake and how Drake is moving? Because we saw the nasty ass snippet that got put out of like the sneak diss and shit on the day of the Cole drop, very intentional, and like. But I'm just wondering how everybody feels about it. Does this Cole? Because I know you said it was Cole just being Cole, but I think we're all, even though it all makes sense that it's J. Cole, I think we're all very much impressed with what he did. Like as in he did kind of exceed standards to a bit, even if we don't want to necessarily admit that. So what does that do for Drake and Iceman? Like where are you guys at with that? Does this kind of turn up the pressure a little bit, or was Drake just always going to have the pressure that he has?
I'll
and how you
kick that
feel
off
about it?
with just one quick idea is that I think that as far as if it adds pressure, I don't think it does, because obviously, as we've discussed, is the one thing this doesn't have is hits, and that's, I mean, where Drake absolutely shines. I think the only area that it does apply pressure, if anything, now this doesn't go to say that like he starts changing shit based off of this necessarily, but applying pressure is how it goes forward. Is this album is very, very, very hip hop, like very catered to like the hip hop heads and that shit. And like the you know the fucking the old like older heads like this and shit like that. And so I think that might add a little bit in. I don't think the general population is going to make a difference, but I think when it comes to like, you know, maybe even in terms of like hip hop media or, you know, the older generation, the people who are like the fucking hip hop nerd fucking hip hop heads, you know what I mean? That I think maybe might kind of falter a little bit because he's like, oh shit, well now like the people like because he's trying to figure out or he's trying to kind of appeal also to hip hop in general and being a hip hop artist, and that was a conversation that's been had about him since all this shit happened, and Cole just fucking ran the track a million times over. So that's the only thing I'll say. But I don't think as far as again, Drake he's gonna have the hits, so he has that over that immediately. But that's where I think, if anything, the pressure comes.
That's where I just want to quickly say that because I think that is a good point. I want to piggyback off of that. Is when it comes to Cole, is he so leaned into being J. Cole, and that's always been kind of the thing why I kind of love and I kind of have this love and hate with Drake projects is I feel like he's always trying to kind of shift and go with wherever the times are and even predict where it's going. And I think he does a good job for a lot of it, but sometimes he misses that mark for me where I wonder if I'm Drake, do I sit back, look at this, and look at what Cole did? And granted, Cole had lower expectations than Drake and less pressure than Drake. But I wonder if Drake just looks at this and goes, I should just be Drake for this project and not try to kind of find that happy medium, not do 25 songs because I'm popping in this demographic, all of the areas that Drake has shined, and that's what makes him great. But that identity thing, I wonder if J. Cole's album makes him rethink that, because I think that is some of what a lot of people's Drake disconnect is the identity thing.
And this album is, if there's one thing it's sure of self.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I'm curious to see what we're going to get. But at the end of the day, I don't even know what a just Drake being Drake album is. So I don't even know how to answer the question I'm asking. But at the same time, I do wonder if Drake is thinking that way. And if that would be in Drake's best interest to do a Drake album and not do what he thinks he needs to do because of everything that's happening. What do you guys think of that?
Personally, off his last couple album run, I definitely don't even think he's gonna come close to the fall off. To be honest with you, but I would love to see Drake go. Not even hit Drake. I want to see Tuscan Leather Drake. I want to see Nothing Was the Same Drake. Now, if you can bring something like that to the table, potentially you got yourself a clash. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you're just gonna bring, Give Me a Hug or whatever, it's not gonna come close to this. You know what I mean?
What?
No.
What?
No, bro. Come on. When's the last time you played it?
Give Me a Hug?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
You're asking the wrong person. I know you ain't been on the show in a minute. You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Out of that album, that's one of the songs I played.
That's actually the worst example off that. That's the one song that everyone does.
Yeah.
I thought.
But what I'm trying to say is, for me, there's no replay value. I'm not gonna bump that for a while.
Well, I
feel you,
but that's just me. I mean,
do think
this I will.
I do think that when it comes to Cole specifically, and that's even because Kendrick reinvents himself every album. Where Cole's done it differently is Cole has really developed the Cole sound and done it and improved upon the same thing for a long time. So I think that it's kind of apples to oranges and hard to compare at that point because although this is in a lot of ways it is reminiscent of basically every Cole album that's ever came out, but the difference is that he's actually taking those attributes and still doing them better somehow or applying it still so well to where it's fresh. But when you're hearing these beats and the beat selection and shit, you're like, this is a J. Cole ass album. You know what I mean? And if you go back to For Your Eyes Only or 2014 Forest Hills Drive, you get similar records, vibes and shit like that from those. So I don't think that Drake is going to do another tap into Nothing Was the Same Drake because that's not the way he's operated. And it's same with Kendrick Lamar. You're not going to get good Kid, Mad City Kendrick Lamar ever again. Like, you know what I mean?
Go ahead, Joe.
To piggy off that, I think like the issue with Drake, I'm not gonna say like Kendrick as much as I don't think is with him, but with Drake, we got so stuck on like the first 5
iteration,
or so,
yeah.
probably, like,
Yeah.
but that was damn near 15 years ago.
Right.
Like he's 40. Like he's not 24. Like, you're
Blood's
not about
40.
the only person that can do that is Future. Future can talk about the same shit. I'm not gonna talk about that. But like Drake, you can't. He's not gonna give you that. And it sucks because like,
And he's not an underdog
and
anymore.
it sucks because like some of his new shit I don't fuck with.
Yeah.
Like the P&D album, like it got some hits on there, but it wasn't nothing like crazy. Like Scorpion and all those, they got hits, but like pure albums, like he hasn't had a pure like album just like top to bottom in years.
Yeah, and I think with Drake, it's like, I mean, that's something to be said is like, what Drake has that is impressive is that he is so good at so many different avenues and different styles of music. But then does that apply Jack of all trades is a master of none? Like, you know what I mean?
He gonna get you a hit, but I like out of like the songs, like if he has 20 songs, like is he gonna give you 10?
Yeah,
Or is
what's
he
the
gonna
ratio?
Is he gonna give you like 5? Like if it's 15 out of 20, like shit.
We're happy, yeah.
But like I don't know. He's just lonely, bro. I think Drake, it's a mental thing with Drake, bro. I think it's just.
He does seem like a very lonely individual.
Like
Yeah,
real shit.
I agree.
That's a good way to. Yeah, he does seem like a
I
lonely
think
guy.
like
Yeah.
he got the money, everything. It's just like mentally, I think he really ain't got no friends for real. So it's just like it's just him, and I think he's. At first, he didn't care because like he was always up here. After the beef, it's like all right, like. I gotta figure it out. Which I think when he drops, it's gonna be the same as it was anytime it's Drake. Like it's gonna still be number one, whatever. But like, is it gonna be like? Is he gonna still be like Drake? I just think it's hard for him now.
And then and again, and because of how versatile, like I'm a big fan of versatility, but because of that, it's like he's still, no matter what he wants to do, he has to cover the bases. He has to get his dance hall record in there. He has to do something with the UK guys. He has to, you know what I mean? It's like in a sense, he's so good at all these things.
I hate that.
Yeah, I know, and he's really good at all of them. But does that quarter him into where he kind of has to check those boxes, even if he doesn't?
And
want to?
I've always said that Drake should just and I appreciate him for that because again, I don't think there's another artist that can do that the way Drake does it.
No.
So I always respect Drake for it. I always respect the attempts, but I think ultimately you as an artist, you condition your fan base. And I think that's kind of the thing that's always been kind of a struggle for Drake is that he is so popular that he does have, obviously he has core fans, obviously, not saying it like that, but he has such a mass but versatile demographic in terms of his supporters, in terms of his fans, that I think that it's one of those things where he is always going to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's why I don't know if he's able to do the Cole thing the way Cole did with this album. But I wonder if because he's a smart guy, I wonder if he's able to kind of figure out how I can do a version of that. Because I almost think, and I want your opinion on that, Birdie, is that I almost think that is the way Drake should be going. I think Drake is reacting off of the landscape, off of how he's very aware of how people feel about him, what the narratives are, this, and that. And I think he's going to be very responsive with this album. I think he's going to obviously address 24 way more than Cole did on this album. But I think that at the same time, if I was Drake, I think I would take note from this Cole and the positive reception of it, and I would try to find what's the most Drake album I can give you. Like maybe I guess if I'm talking the last like Drake album, like if you're reading this, it's too late. Like that's like an album that kind of feels like entirely Drake. I don't know what the album.
I mean,
because everything.
I would say Views more, but then Views you still get, but you get that's where he starts. I mean, the dancehall stuff, which to me, I like when Drake does that shit.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Some of my favorite Drake
as
songs are
far as,
dancehall
like,
songs.
Yeah, like Drake, like what where we discovered Drake at. Yeah, that probably was the last like full
That's
iteration.
kind of where he started switching his style, though.
Yeah, it was Views. That's where he kind of started transitioning. Yeah.
how do you feel about that, and how you think, one, how this affects how Cole's project affects Drake, and then what you kind of think of where Drake is going from here?
How does it affect Drake? I would say it's just gonna make it hard for him to have album of the year more than anything. It's not like he not gonna do number one, and it's not like he not gonna do the things that we expect him to do. It's just whether it's up to par with J. Cole's album is really the question. But I kind of still see like Drake's surpassing Cole off the fact. Well, if he executed right, like, cause the thing about Drake is that he's very responsive, and like we want to know what he got to say and what he got to talk about after everything that happens. So that's just one reason why I think it'll probably end up surpassing. But what was the second question?
The second question is kind of like how Cole very much gave us a Cole album, right? Like, should Drake be trying to do that as opposed to, like you just talked about, the responsiveness? He very much, what makes him so great is that he always kind of is either reacting to or forecasting where music sound is going, and then kind of, just chameleon, like fitting into that. Do you think that approach is how he should go, or do you think he should kind of lean into Drake being Drake, let me serve my core? Because I think that even the people that had a problem with Cole, the way Cole dropped this album and the way he did what he did, I don't see the people that were very loud, and even some of us on this panel that were very loud disrespecting Cole. We're not sitting here disrespecting Cole because he kind of did the perfect version of what he needed to do. Do you think that Drake should kind of take that same approach, or do you think that Drake being a different artist, he should kind of go about it the way he normally has?
It's just all about the quality of music. Like he can take the road of trying to give us a nostalgic feeling or try and do some different shit, but it's just all about the quality of music. That's all it is. That's all we can judge off at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, the difference between Drake is he's like you said, reactionary, and like not to say that even in a negative sense, but
no, it's not.
Drake is, every Drake album is very in the present.
Yes.
Where this specific Cole album is anything but. It's literally it's a historical stamp of everything. I mean, he's addressing, even the part that's supposed to be addressing current is still addressing technically 2 years ago. Yeah. So you know what I mean? When he was 39. So it's like, but this album specifically, just, you learn a lot about J. Cole and his life, of shit you didn't know before, and like that kind of thing. So, but that's, I think, the thing with Drake is, like, does he go that direction, or does he keep it more topical like he usually does? Because that's what he's good at, and there's nothing wrong with that either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think I think as somebody that I fall in this boat of criticism of Drake, that historically, I think that Drake, being somebody that is opens himself up to so many avenues. Each one of those, you open yourself up to criticism, and that's kind of been my issue with Drake. And I think that maybe if he could find a way to do a version of this, I think that would almost be better for Drake. I really do, because I think that Drake obviously has a core that rides with him. And I think if he tries to do something that he hasn't normally done, it's high risk, high reward, right? Because if it doesn't work, then, if, speaking of Birdie, like, if the quality ain't there, then it's going to be a problem. But if it hits, and it hits well, then it's going to do fucking wonders for his image, for how we view him, even, again, the outside. Like I said, I bring up the Cole thing of, like, I don't think that there are people that, even the most critical people of Cole, like, they're not really talking a lot of bad about this.
On the internet,
like, right now. I mean, I'm seeing those people that I'm seeing are either fan accounts or user 59467, like, just non-existent.
Facebook.
Yeah, like
I seen some. I seen a lot of like.
I haven't.
I seen a lot.
I haven't
of
seen like
negatives.
a real.
I've seen a lot
No,
of-
me too.
But like actual like people like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And let's
Okay.
also not say is that J. Cole is a very historically hated artist too. He has
Yeah,
been
that's
for
fair.
years.
100%.
That's
See,
fair.
Metro Boomin was talking shit about him on Twitter in 2012, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, like
That was so
it's
crazy.
so it's like he is a historically hated artist
And it
too.
really don't make no sense because like he really like at the beginning stages of his career, he was just such a likable rapper. On top of the fact he
Why
was
do
making
people not
hits,
like him?
he was a great feature artist. Like J. Cole is one of them niggas that you wanted on your song as a feature, like 100%. He was one of the most quotable artists of
Yeah.
the 2010s.
Absolutely.
Bro, why do people hate on him?
I think
people
because
say he
he's J.
makes-
Cole.
People, well, I mean, yeah, people hate anything.
Like
I mean,
No.
no,
Like, why hate?
no,
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 no.
he
This
just
is
got-
this is
no,
why
people-
because
people-
he's the person. He's the person that he showed us in 2024. He's the person that like you can fight, and I think that's where a lot of the Cole hate comes from. Is he is very much one of those people that I think again he's a
People hate
great.
Drake too. just
He's a
like-
great
just the
human
same.
being.
We need
But I
to
think
take the
forced
hate
to
and
hate
shift
him,
it to
though.
Kendrick.
Precisely.
see what we need to do is we need to channel this right here
No.
and direct it here.
Aubrey
No.
Drake Graham, what you have to do is do
But-
a collab album with Too Slimy.
But no,
That's how you're gonna
I
fucking
think
work.
I think that's what kind of makes people. Again, I've seen people like relating it to like a school level of like I've seen yes, easy target exactly. I think Cole kind of makes himself that because you know that when you hear J. Cole rap and you just hear him in interviews, you're like, that is a great person. That's a great
He's
human
teddy
being.
bear, yeah. But
So-
it's the specific.
Let
thing,
me bring him down.
The specific
Like,
thing
that's
that
what
people,
it is.
that people have always ragged on him for is that his music. People say it's like boring or like puts him to
Right.
sleep, which I disagree with. I don't see that at all.
Never
One of
been
my
bored.
closest friends is an absolute fucking. He hates J. Cole top to bottom, and I don't really get it because I think that I mean. He has a lot of energy in his music. Like I don't.
Other than For Your Eyes Only, I got that. When he did the She's Mine, both those songs are. I've genuinely listened to those songs
he
to
has
fall
slower
asleep.
moments,
I have.
but yeah, and for sure.
I'm 100% on it.
But like, yeah, that's what a lot that's always been like to
Yeah.
the point in 2017. It was like a whole meme of like,
Yeah.
they're
It was.
They're calling him what Nyquil, like Nyquil.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Audio
fucking-
NyQuil was
What's funny
a
is
lot
I
of
feel like
people-
when 2014 Forest Hills Drive came out, a lot of people became fans, but then he also grew more haters somehow at the same time.
Well, it's because the bigger you get, the more people are gonna,
Of course,
talk
which-
their shit.
Of course, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the album, but I do give it its props for what it is. But he had a fuck ton of haters on when that album came out.
Well,
A
it
lot.
was that and double platinum with no features and everything. And
Oh
like
yeah,
whatever.
that
Yeah,
meme got
yeah,
ran
that-
into
that
the
was going all over
fucking
Twitter.
ground.
He was-
I get that one though.
What?
I get that one.
What, the hate?
With the
platinum
features?
Shit. Like, I get
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like,
Wait,
it,
get
it
it?
was cool the first time, but it's like
I know. People held on
Yeah,
to that.
then it
way too
became
long.
a shit.
people
They
like
kept running with
people
it.
dragged it and it made
They did.
the hate for him easier.
And I'm
it
not-
wasn't his, it
yeah.
wasn't his fault. though
It makes
either.
motherfuckers not even want to go platinum because
It's like, all right.
You want platinum? I'll fucking you dork. Like no, I think my platinum thing has always been this, and I know we're kind of past the album, so we're wrapping up here. But the platinum thing, I've always said I've always been critical of Cole because I'm like, whoop-de fucking do. You went double platinum with no features. You could have went diamond with features. Like my thing is you are J. Cole. You have the resources. I'm not gonna reward you. I'm not gonna like that's asking me to grade you on a curve.
Yeah, but at the same time, features are still features are fresh in terms of how music operates. Like, you know what I mean? But most like
People look
historical
forward to
acts
features.
Right.
People
That's what I'm
look
saying.
forward to
not
features,
have
though.
features. So it's like at the same time, it's like to say, oh, if Michael Jackson's Bad had features on it, it would have been way better. I think that's kind of crazy.
I feel
you know what I mean?
but you can.
I'm not
judge
saying that.
with
I'm not
rap
saying that in particular. I'm
Right.
just saying
Well, I mean,
Rap
but
features are
it's
just
a
different.
it's a combat to the narrative of championing it because of no features. Like to me, I'm not gonna champion an album because of no features. Objectively,
it should be good with no features. is
Objectively-
the thing, yeah.
yeah, objectively, man. Like if that's the direction you want it to go, and that that's you, cool. And I do think if artists tried to do that, I don't think there's a lot of artists that could do that. But at the same time,
If a lot of artists can do that, why is it such a whoop-de-doo to you?
because it's that narrative of constantly being championed, and probably it is just the fatigue of it that it was spammed at that time, because that was everybody like every Cole fan's number one argument for why he was the best. But again, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not giving you that pass, especially when you're J. Cole and you have the ability to have all the features you want. Like, I'm not going to – you're asking me, in my opinion, I interpret it as you're asking me to grade on a curve, and I don't like to do that. I grade things as what they are.
Though, like, I think more rappers can do it than, like, people, like, think for real. I think.
Well, NBA Youngboy does it damn near every time.
Really.
I don't think it's that hard to go, like, platinum on features, though. Now, I don't think it's that hard.
Well, yeah, the game is cooked now.
When he did the
game
first
is
time,
cooked
like,
now.
but,
The
like,
sales
now it's
are.
like,
I think that I think you look at it two ways, because you could look at it also as like, you know, a lot of the time, like there's also a lot of instances where a feature drives more attention to an album.
Right.
So
100%.
then to that same point is like the fact that he was able to do an album and keep everybody engaged without having big names for people to come to it and check it out too. So it's like, but I get what you mean too, in that it's the same thing. But you could also grade on a curve because of the features.
You know who can't do an album with no features? Platinum Travis Scott. I'm not hearing fucking 14
He's a feature
songs.
on his own album.
I know.
yeah.
I know he is. I'm not trying to hear that shit. But
You want to hear Travis Scott? Just go listen to Don Toliver.
I was gonna say when that run when he had no features, when he had that, I think it was Kill Edward feature on KOD,
which was just
That
him.
was just him.
You think he just kind of did that to run with it to make it?
Yeah, that
seem
was him
like-
playing into his narrative, for sure.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
all-
I was-
that's all it was.
No, for sure. Yeah, and
That was him being goofy, which I would have enjoyed a Kill Edward project. I like that auto-tune fucking distorted vocal. That shit was
honestly,
cool.
I wasn't that big of a fan of
But
it, to be honest.
I will
but-
say, you
I wouldn't
know,
hate it, but just give me like 4 or 5 songs.
who's
of
the
it.
first one that had a pitched alter ego? I mean, Mac Delusional
Check
Thomas.
the
I'm just
facts.
saying. Just
Check
saying.
the facts.
Exactly. Google that.
But all right, man. I think we said what we need to say about the fall. Any closing words? Any closing words on this album? Any last takes? I guess we can just kind of quickly say our favorites. As of right now, Who the Fuck Is You? That song, if I was in a car the first time I heard it, I would have caused an accident. Dog.
That's a Drake song.
That
bro.
second ass fucking like that right there ass beat switch, that shit was crazy. I swear I can't think of
I think
that
the first part, not the
Chingy
second
song.
part.
Like the one with Tams.
Second part is basically
yeah, the one with
fucking
Thames.
TV off.
You could tell like songs that like I think he was supposed to be on, not to get sidetracked, that like just didn't happen.
Oh yeah. Do you think there was it? Because allegedly there was that song that both of them were on.
So
I
did
didn't
that-
think about
so,
this.
Yeah,
I heard
did
about
that
that
still
too.
make it?
Do you think that that song?
I don't know which
made
one
it?
it was, but I truly believe like
I believe that happened.
yeah.
It could be. It could have been that one, because look at because like I said, the beat switch is what is it most reminiscent of? TV off.
Yeah.
Is
And first person shooter, Drake and Cole.
telling
Like
you.
you needed to have 3 beats for those 3.
that could have been the song.
Personally,
I
I
think
like-
that's the most likely.
I like 2-6
Probably.
off the first disc. That was probably one of my favorites. But my absolute favorite was Life Sentence.
Life Sentence was crazy. That was the DMX one,
That
right?
was one of my favorites.
And that's a fun, a good perspective, or a fun perspective is like, you know, a relationship is a life sentence.
If there's
like,
one thing about
yeah,
J.
yeah.
Cole, he's gonna remind you that he cheated.
Yeah, no.
Y'all think
Every time.
Do y'all think he's gonna have a deluxe with this or no?
No,
No,
You don't think so?
I hope not.
no. I let it rock. Yeah.
I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
How
hate
many
it.
more do we need, dog?
Although I ain't gonna lie, it did take 10
Deluxe
years.
with
You probably
features?
do got 10 more good songs that are just chilling in the
I'm
vault.
cool.
I also, I don't think this J. Cole, whatever. He'll drop something and say it's a mixtape. I don't know. Or he's gonna do features. I don't think that he's completely retired from hip hop. It's hard to say.
I don't know with him, bro.
He just,
know,
but
bro.
I mean, maybe not. I have no qualms, or I have no horse.
Now a deluxe with features would be kind of dope. That would be kind of cool if you did that.
No, I don't want to deluxe.
You don't think so?
Don't ruin the structural integrity.
Man,
of,
people
of
were
a near-
pissed that
of-
Dreamville
of
wasn't
this-
on
of
there.
the
I was
album
cool with
this
that.
year.
Obviously,
Give a
keep
damn.
this keep this album how it is. Obviously, I'm
I'm
not
good.
saying I'm not taking away from
Like, it's
discrediting anything, but I'm saying if there was a deluxe with a couple features, I think that would be kind of cool.
But then you're changing the album.
They'd have
Deluxe
to-
is changing the
They
album.
had to be like A+ features though. Like it couldn't be
Yeah.
like it. No Dreamville.
That motherfucker gotta have. If he got loot on there, I'm done.
Like it got to be someone like crazy. Like the Future and Tim song. That's probably my favorite song. That one. And then what's
I would love to see a 21 Savage feature again because a
Wait,
lot
that's
was
what
crazy.
I expected that.
Hey,
Honestly.
he should have last thing. He should have let Nas narrate this album. I
fuck
feel
he
like there
shouldn't
should have been a Nas.
What do you mean you shouldn't?
There should have been a Nas full circle thing.
Have you caught up on our social media lately?
With how
We'll
much,
talk later.
yeah, with how much he's tied to Nas career wise in terms of like what
I was
he
gonna say, I
kind of
agree with
carries
that.
himself. I think that would have been a dope hip hoppy ass fucking moment. Cause I got emotional when I heard that Biggie and Pac song. I did,
I
but
like the man above.
I do.
that would have been the
I-
only Dreamville
I do
artist that would
think-
have
I
fit.
saw a tweet that made me laugh. It was like J. Cole's so soft he made Biggie and Pac apologize to each other.
He said, "Of course he made him apologize." I've seen that. That was funny.
I'm just saying a 21
That'd be
Savage
great,
feature
too.
would have been cool as fuck on this album.
Only
Yeah,
Dreamville
but
person I thought that would be on
in
there was
in comparison,
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
would've been
if it was exactly what it is, but 21 was on one of these songs, it would have stuck out like a sore.
What's
fucking thumb.
what's the song that was it Lost One? No, not what is it? The one that the song one that people are hating on this one.
The song? Oh, the Let Out.
The Let Out, yes. The Let Out. That one's one of my favorites as well. Man, I got so many favorites on
Drum-
J.
Friday.
Cole.
Drum and bass was a
if
good
there's
one,
one
too.
thing, if there's one thing J. Cole gonna do, he gonna put the word
Poor thing.
He gonna put the
Poor
word
thing.
the before something.
Poor-
the
what-
Let Out, the Fall Off, the Off Season.
Wasn't Poor
Very
Thing
definitive.
the actual
The Rap
song
K
for
podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
wasn't Poor Thing the actual song for the trailer when it came out?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, right?
Yeah, it was.
In the
'Cause
trailer-
the beat sounded familiar when I was listening in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was that one and
And the Who the Fuck Is You?
And-
Was the
well,
other
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
no,
Well, the-
no, that's the
That's
thing-
what he played at
but
the end of
thing
this-
that's weird
at
is
the,
no, who the fuck is you? The very first, as soon as you play the song, the first two bars are the first two bars of Old Dog, which is really weird.
Yeah, I did notice that on the,
The
second
first
disc.
the first two bars
Yeah,
of
yeah.
who the fuck or what? Who the fuck is you? Is that what it is?
The ring who keeps
It
calling.
is that's the first. It's a clip of the first two lines of
Yeah. I did notice
Old
that.
Dog. I'll show you after, and you can even tell because
You can tell,
Old
yeah.
Dog, it's on it. It's like the regular song, and then at the beginning of Who the Fuck Is You, it's like record scratchy vinyl, like it was sampled from something, basically.
The who keeps calling, right? That's yeah. I know what you're talking about. I keep that in the car today.
Yeah, the
I can't recite any of this yet.
The Villist was crazy. Yeah, there was a lot of great
Villist was
records,
good.
but
Only You
Zay,
was pretty decent too.
you got any favorites before we got here? I feel like everybody else lists their
I
favorites.
said the Tim's one.
Oh yeah, the Thames
That's
one.
mine too. And the
Yeah,
he
that
got,
one. That one's up there for me.
Him and Future.
Are you talking about the Burna Boy one?
No, not Mr. Shyoga. Not Mr. No. It's the song with
Mr. Shyoka.
It's the song with Marvin Sapp. I think it's the Man Up Above.
Oh, the Never Would Have Made It. Yeah, that shit was so.
But
Yeah,
that's like you can.
That one got me. Yeah.
Nobody ever messes up that sample.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard
can't.
to mess that one up. But
you can't.
Before we get out of here, though, is there a song that y'all were like, it's all right?
Not
No.
really.
No.
they was all cool. Like
Yeah, they were all good. They were all good to me. I know some people had some problems with the safety song.
Yeah, that.
I didn't mind that.
I mean, people.
The way he described the person was very funny.
People have said that.
Taking
and-
the booty ass. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Yo,
Oh, and Run a
Nuts.
Train with Future was good too.
Yeah.
real,
Which-
real quick.
I was worried about what that song was going to be just based off the title.
Just the name, bro. I was like,
real
wait
quick
a minute.
because I didn't get my Drake one, but I do think Drake had to come correct, especially after this one, and after the whole beef, he gonna try and come, he gonna and Drake, of course, he gonna have a hit.
Yeah.
He gonna have a few hits on that one.
More
But it's
couple,
so
yeah.
crazy to me how we talked about this earlier. Is like J. Cole, there's no real hits on this, but the album overall is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But with Drake, it's the total opposite. He got hits on it, but the album is like,
Yeah.
it's kind of straight. So that's just an observant. That's what like a little observance that I have, just
Yeah.
thinking about it overall. But
I think that's the danger of being a hit artist is that you rely on that, and if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit, and then that kind of weighs an album down. Whereas if you kind of just present yourself as this like one type artist, then people kind of have an expectation of you. Again, Drake is a prisoner of his own success, ultimately.
Hate is fake.
Yeah.
All rap hate is fake, bro. Like even like for
I
Cole,
don't know.
Cole.
Well,
I don't know. Birdie really hates
people-
Kendrick.
Well, I don't know about that. That might be real, but like, I think that's like 100% real. But the Drake shit, bro, like
yeah, he didn't say Kendrick hate was fake, but Drake hate is fake.
I don't know. I think
well,
he'd be just fine.
social media, it's so amplified because it's so much
fucked.
clicks. You see the same thing in politics. People say some fucking outlandish shit just to get engagement because they make 8 cents off of it or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like you get the same thing as like when it comes to music too. That's why I don't really. I'm not taking any of that social media shit with a grain of salt. Because also, if you're a fan of hip hop in any respect, and you have or say that this album is ass, like I don't.
Can't trust
I'll
you.
see it.
I really can't
Yeah.
trust
Can't
your
trust
opinion,
you.
honestly. You can say it's not my favorite J. Cole, but to say it's genuinely not good is that I just.
we could all agree on that, bro. Like,
That doesn't
I
happen-
told
it
you,
doesn't happen
Jalen, we were
very
going to
often.
have an album where we all agree.
This don't count.
Oh, come on now.
Nobody was gonna hate this one. No, like this was a, this
No,
was a,
No, it does. Listen,
That's
it
the
does
only
count.
way that people are.
I don't think we would have hated though.
It does count because I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really not. But when I actually sat down and listened to it, I like it. So,
Hey, bro, I
Hooray.
told you.
yeah,
I
I'm not the
told you,
biggest
man.
Cole
We're
fan,
gonna
but
have.
I actually like.
We're
the
gonna
song.
have that album. I spoke it into existence, and it's here.
I didn't expect it to be a Cole.
Rap Cave, bro. If you don't like this album, bro, you're not real.
Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Like, comment, share, subscribe, please. But I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for everybody. Nobody else has any closing thoughts about it. Anything they want to shout out?
Other than
Nothing.
it's gonna be a classic. I mean, it already is a classic in my eyes. But
Yeah, we gotta give it time. But
me.
I'm there.
We knew the assignment for this week was, bro.
If it make it past the summertime, then we'll see.
All right.
This
But I
album-
think his promo's gonna help it though.
One thing I
Yeah,
know
he's
is
gonna
that
do a great promo, and he's probably gonna have a great concert.
there is so much content.
Great tour, yeah.
There's so much content in this album. It's gonna take multiple listens to really digest everything. I mean, it's fucking
Yeah.
packed front to back.
stadium tour or no? What do
yeah.
you think?
Oh, I'm going.
No, arena.
You don't think so?
Arena.
Not stadium, arena for sure. But I'll go.
You think
I'm
so?
definitely going.
LCA, not Fort
Jay
Field.
Leno, you want to go to that?
I
Well,
feel,
let's see
I
if
feel like
Mobus
he could
wants
do
to go
Ford
first.
Field though.
Yeah, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, man. You know, first gotta ask mom first.
Yeah.
man. That's my first.
How is she on J. Cole?
She cool. She'll go.
Yeah.
We went.
She
to go
like
see-
everything,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
if I
she
go,
does.
like that's our thing. She don't care. I go see her artist. She
Yeah.
go see my artist, bro.
Yeah.
So she'll probably go to see.
But I
her.
just didn't know
If
how
you wanna
she's
see
like
Cole, then
felt
let's all
about
go.
We
it.
just seen Cole
Let's
like
go with
twice,
you
so
and
she'll
Mobus.
probably go. Yeah,
Alright.
you pull up.
Yeah, we should.
Handicap section.
All right, let's
Fake
do it.
boo.
If we do like honestly, if we do like a rap cave, we do like a rap cave J. Cole tour. I'm down.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, everybody. That is episode 95 of the Rat Cave Podcast. I'm Chris Platte,
95
a.k.a. Platte Pods, 95 South, one of the best intros. One of the best intros in rap. I got B Mike Birdie with me. Money Murr making his return. Great to have you back. I got Zay. Primetime Jay Leno. Big AP on the ones and twos. And the ghost of Nick Tailgate wins. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I am Chris Platte, aka Platte Pods. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get this channel up. Let us know what you thought of J. Cole and the fall off. What are your expectations for Drake's album? And are you going to see Cole on tour? But until then, we'll see you next time. Next week, new episode.
Shout out
Peace.
business. Fuck you, Knicks.
Yeah, fuck the peasants. New York peasants, baby.